Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of the Engineer's Guide. Today will be a fun day because I'm going to build the first elevator. So it's a lot of pistons and a lot of programming, which I already have done in a creative world because, well, it's quite a bit more complex than the programming for the sport base. And I really wanted to make it work in advance of this episode, in advance of this recording. Well, I will start with building the elevator mechanism and a bit of the elevator itself and make sure that that works. And after that, I will complete the elevator and the access to the elevator, because if I remember correctly, not all the entrances are the same. I updated the upper levels a while ago and I think the lower 3 levels need to be changed. Also, I will need to make sure that all the buttons function as they should. So let's get some parts and let's get started. This shaft here at the back is the shaft of elevator number 3, and it is built up to level -3. So let's extend it to level -4, or at least the front side. So this is level -4. Then I have to extend this another 5 blocks like this, and the piston will come under here, and I'm placing a piston here, like so. So that the elevator will have a, well, although very tiny, but it will have a gap between the wall and the elevator itself. It's a bit of a safety measure so that the blocks won't be damaged. And let's fill up this wall. This is the first step, and let's weld this up. I previously thought that I couldn't place the door of level 4 also 4 blocks apart like the ones above, as you can see with the staircase. I will have to move this this level 1 block more downwards so that it is in line with the elevators, but that's no problem at all. And I can do that later. Let's see, the naming. I will maintain this prefix for all the blocks that are involved. And this is the base piston. I will have to share inertia tensor so that it will be more stable, and this one won't move at all, so let's turn it off, and this will be fine like this. I don't need to, this piston doesn't do anything else. So this can be removed from the terminal immediately. Now comes the interesting part, the mechanism. The mechanism that will move the elevator vertically is, or will be built out of 5 stacks of 2 pistons. and they will take up a grid of 3 by 3. So in each corner there will be a stack and one in the center, and the one in the center will be placed one block higher because this corner conveyor is in the way for that, but I've got plenty of room for that. This way this can lift about 100 meters, so it's almost necessary. And yeah, well, let's build it, and it's not that difficult to build. I do use the conveyors for connecting the pistons because they take up a relatively low amount of space. And I see that I don't have the parts for the conveyors, so let's get some. One of the piston I use as a reference piston, that's for the script. I'm not really sure if it's necessary, but in my testing session it proved to be very useful. All the other pistons will have the same name or all the elevator pistons will have the same name up to this point. So elevator 03.piston. So that the script will make sure that all the pistons have the same values for moving the elevator. And right now I just have to continue the mechanism. This is the entire vertical mechanism of the elevator. So as you can see, it's very tightly packed, and the spacing around the conveyors, it works quite nicely with this. Right now I have to make sure that all the pistons, they share inertia tensor, and the rest will be controlled by the script. So this is all fine. In order to make the connection to the elevator, I am making use of a hinge, and I will grind down the middle section so I can transfer to a small grid. So this share inertia tensor hinge lock, because it doesn't need to move, and I want a small head on there. Okay, this looks all good and it can be removed from the terminal, and let's weld this up. Now we have to make sure that this that the floor of the elevator is aligned with the floor of that level. And if it is alright, it should just fit perfectly. Let's move to clean armor. And I need some more steel plate. Yeah, perfect. So let's make a little bit of elevator floor. Okay, I think this will be big enough. I've got some room to spare on the sides and quite a bit on the back. And yeah, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, let's try to weld this bit up with the constructor. See if it fits. The rest of the elevator probably is a little bit more difficult. And as you can see, there's easily some thruster damage. Okay, this elevator needs a door, which will come here. And let's build a wall right behind that. I do want a little bit of headroom above, so let's make it another 2 blocks higher, I think. And one for the roof. Yeah, this is fine. I was thinking to extend the elevator with 1 block because I want
Meteor storm inbound.
I want to place the buttons a little bit inwards. Okay, this is the start, but I remembered that I wanted to do something different. And now I've built too many blocks. What was that? I heard oh. That did some damage. I noticed that happened a couple of times now, that the doors don't completely open. Maybe I do need to take a look at the scripts here, because they tend to stop for some reason. I'm not sure why. But that'll come later. First, this elevator. Okay, as I mentioned, I wanted something different here. And I wanted to use the plates. And mostly in order to hide this control panel over here. And I wanted to place an transparent LCD over here and over here, but I do need some components for that. Okay, so this bit around the door can stay, and all the rest can be removed because I want to try to keep it as light as possible, and well, it's all useless wool. Then for the buttons, I want the buttons here on the right side. And I need a area of 3 blocks high, and these, let's see, this goes from +5 to -4, so that's 10 levels. So I need 10 buttons, and in an area of 3 high I need 4 wide or 8 wide, because I want a small LCD next to it mentioning which floor it activates. So let's start with a window of some kind. And actually I want to place some kind of a vent over here. I wanted to use these barred windows as a vent, so that I can make this shaft pressurized instead of only the oh no, I've got a better idea. I'll make this side a vent. And I think this is the entire button section, and the rear of the elevator I can build the same as I did here with all the silver panels. Alright, this looks rather nice. I'm going to remove these 2 LCDs, and I am thinking of building a larger LCD on this side. Yeah, that's which I wanted to give some information on where this elevator is and where it's going, or at least that's already in the script. And I want to have an LCD on this side that mentioned that. So let's get some additional plates over here. And then copy this side to this side. This looks quite nice. I've got 1 LCD for, well, maybe some commercials. Just because, well, why not? And 1 for the location of the elevator. And well, I will keep this open for now. The only thing I will add is well, the back wall, which will be with the same plates as this side, and the ceiling or the roof of the elevator, which will be closed off. These gratings on the side, they will make sure that this room is not airtight and that it will get the oxygen from the pressurized elevator shaft. Okay, now comes the fun job of renaming all the blocks. The naming is done. The LCDs are filled in over here. These are almost done. And what is missing is naming or checking on the naming of all the doors and all the buttons that are on the outside. And I think this looks quite nice. So I will be checking all the names of all the doors, and here I also need to place a button panel still. Like so, and where is the button? And that is this one. So there's some work left and let's get to it. And now also all the buttons on the outside have been set up. The LCD is filled in with a grid background and text to call the elevator with that button. So yeah, there is a drone outside, but it's a glitchy drone, so that won't bother me. And I think it's time to add the script in the server that's over there. And I will use this LCD to contain the specific script for this elevator and to show where this elevator is and is going. I've activated the server or the programmable block for elevator 3 in the terminal again, and that has all this the script of the easy automation again. This is exactly the same script as I used for the support base. And now the specific code for this elevator. There's a bit of a generic bit when the elevator is started, so when a button is pressed, this bit of script will be triggered, and it will close all the doors of this elevator, so the main door in the elevator itself and all the doors on all the levels, and then it switches off all the doors. And this is one of the reasons I use this specific door, because this door uses, I think, just a bit under a second to close. And especially with timer blocks, that's quite handy. So as you can see, when I press to go to level +5, the P stands for plus, the M for minus. So P5, it will trigger this bit of script. Then it switches off all the buttons of the elevator, so nobody else can trigger the script. It will write to this LCD going to level +5. There's a delay of 1000 milliseconds, so a second, and then this if else statement starts with, it checks if the current position of the reference piston is below 9 meters. Then it sets the upper limit to 9 meters and it extends the pistons. And if the current position is higher than 9 meters, which shouldn't be possible because this is the upper level, then it sets the lower limit to 9 meters and it retracts the pistons. And this works for each level, and it will be 1 meter per piston lower each time. If this if else statement is finished, then when the current position is reached, then there's a 1000 millisecond delay again. It turns on the elevator door and the door on level +5, and it will open both doors. It activates all the buttons again, except for the ones on level 5, because, well, the elevator is then at level +5. And it writes at the LCD that the elevator has arrived. So yeah, now there is a fun job of placing all the statements in the buttons. And there is an easy way to do that, and that's by copying a little bit in the LCD and making one statement. This is the statement that needs to be triggered to go to level +5. So I will remove that from there and place it here. Oh, I can remove that one from the terminal again. So I need to run and use this as an argument. And as you can see, this button now is functioning. And I need to do that for all the buttons. Also for all the buttons on the outside. And that's actually it. So run the server, the argument, and +4. And the next one. It's actually as easy as that. Writing the script and testing the script, that was by far the most difficult thing to do. So let's continue with this. This elevator is mostly done. All the buttons work. I've already set up all the buttons so that they should say the right thing, although there's one missing here. This elevator is a success. It is a little bit bumpy, and as you can see, there are some sparks. But all in all, it functions quite okay. Well, better than quite okay. Oh, the only thing is, and you can see it here, it's quite an abrupt stop when it reaches its level. But I am really happy with this one. This elevator is completely done, with a single exception, and that is that I'm going to add the elevator music in this elevator. All the other blocks, they're all programmed, they're all set up correctly and completely, and I must say it looks really, really nice. A single interior light is sufficient for the entire elevator. The only thing is that in space, elevators behave a little bit weird. For example, well, gravity is quite low. I've set it to half G. and it's a little bit bumpy. I guess when I'm not docked to an asteroid in the front of the ship, it will behave more strangely, but well, it is a very, very nice and awesome feature to have. The combination of white and silver, I really like that also. So this is done. Let's go to -4, then I can get out. And this is actually quite fast. In order to make the music work, well, I need to install it. I will make a sensor and a music block, or the sound block. I will put it on top of the elevator. And I have to close this off. I probably will add a vent in this elevator shaft and then close it completely. But I also have to close off the top of the shaft. And of course, I have to make all the floors here. So level +4 needs to be closed off, level +5, so the bridge needs to be closed off. And all the other elevator shafts need to be finished, so that they also can be closed. And this front end, it doesn't look like it, but it's almost closed off because, well, I've built the airlocks. I do need to place this wall. I need to close off these hallways. The only thing that I do need is I need to find a way to make a staircase going from this to the bridge. And the original plan was to do this in the front over here somewhere. And that is still possible. But then I have to change something with the interior turrets. Or I can place ladders against the wall here, but I do like the look and feel of this area. So maybe I'll just make some access here at the back. I will probably make some access here at the back. So the final thing was to install the sound blocks. Let's see. So let's put a sound block in the center. That is somewhere here. Oh, I need some parts.
Meteor storm inbound.
Of course, I need some parts. So as I mentioned, the center is somewhere here. So the sound block doesn't need a big range. The elevator itself is 3 by 3. This is in the center. So about 8 meters range should be enough. And I'm not sure which one it actually is. Probably this one. For now, it doesn't work because it's in a vacuum. If direct control with a sensor does not work, then I will add it in the script. So maybe at one point I will close off this elevator shaft, close all the doors, and check if this one will work. I am thinking of making this into a blueprint. So disconnecting the hinge, making the small grid into a blueprint so that I can make easily, the other 5. I do have to change this elevator a little bit for these 2 elevators twice, because the elevator for the public is different than for personnel. Personnel can go to every level, and the public elevator can go to +4 and then to +1, because
Energy critical.
+3 and +2 are for... Oh no, they can go to +2 because that's that are the public suites. +3 is for personnel. They can go to the central level. -1 should be public because that's connected to the front airlock going to the large hangar bay that will come in front. And they need to go to -3 because that's the way to the land vehicle bay on the bottom that needs to be built, and it will be a escape route that's going with a staircase to -4 and to a little bit to the back of the ship, I think. For now, this bit is done. Let's get some energy and then I can make a blueprint. What I was thinking is that I can close the top side here, and luckily enough it's the same level as the staircase, so that's quite nice actually. I think it will fit better. It will fit better underneath the arc that's going over. So for this I will remove the top layer. I can do the same here, but I won't close this one off because I probably need a way to place the elevator inside. But for this I can remove this top bit and close it off, so that's nice. I want to close the bottom side as much as well, and for that I do need to enclose this piston completely. This will make this bit airtight. This will make most of this airtight. I will build the rest when I build the other elevator. So now I only have to weld this up and the first elevator is done. This makes the first elevator complete. As you can see, the vent is down there. The entire mechanism is airtight and closed off. I can call the elevator here. This might take a while. It's working already. Go to level +5. And we're at the bridge. I am so happy that also the music works. I didn't expect it, but apparently it does. Oh, no it doesn't. Ah, strange. I do need to make this airtight, but all in all, I am so happy that this, the music that did it for me. Anyway, this is now completely done. I have a template for the other elevators, but I will make them at a later stage. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like. If you have any remarks, you can leave them in the comments below. And I hope to see you next time.